Hello, Mr. Beard here with your class recap for Wednesday, January 9th. We started class with a bell ringer, which was what is 3 times in life you might likely use public speaking. Because I have said, and I'll continue to say, that this class has very applicable skills. The skills you learn in this class and you practice in this class, you will at some point use later in life. So let's, think about some times when that might be the case. So we came up with a list of 3, and then got together as a class and compared notes. One time we all agreed on would be if you are a speaker at graduation. Now, that's a select audience. Only a few people might talk at graduation, so let's look at some more common ones that everyone will use. Interviews. At some point, everyone who has an intention of graduating from high school will probably have to do an interview. They'll have to walk into a room with complete strangers who are judging them. And they will have to impress that person if they want to get that job. They'll have to speak, and they'll be judged on the way they speak. They may be asked questions that they had no way of preparing for, and they'll have to come up with a response right there on the spot. All of those are skills that we will cover in this class. How do you present yourself in a way that'll make a great first impression? How do you speak eloquently to get someone to come to your side on an issue? How do you adjust on the fly? That is impromptu speaking. So interviews we will all probably have. Weddings are another likely public speaking scenario. If you have a sibling or close friend who is getting married, they very likely might ask you to say a few words at the wedding. Funerals are another unfortunate universal truth. At some point, all of us, sadly, will probably lose somebody close to us in our lives, and it's likely we may be asked to say a few words to eulogize and remember that loved one. So we will be called upon, and you want to do a good job because it's obviously someone you cared about and want to put them in the best light. Meetings are another common area that we all get called to speak upon. Whether it's a presentation for a meeting, you're giving a proposal, maybe you're giving just a recap or a summary of how you did that quarter, in all sorts of professions, medical, business, education. Meetings are a very common time where you have to get up and speak in front of your cohorts and your peers. So those are just a 5 quick common areas. Students came up with more. So there's some other great answers in there. The idea, though, is that you will, at some point, use these skills, and it behooves you to get your best growth as a speaker out of this class, because you will probably be called upon to use those skills. The next area we focused on was digital resources for this class. Because it is a speaking class, we'll often have visual aids such as PowerPoints, slide sharks, prezzies, things that will engage the audience visually and will need to be turned in digitally. So we will use My Big Campus in conjunction with the Google site that you are likely on right now to turn in any assignments. So students need to join the class. If you are in first period, you want to go in and search Beard Speech as this pops up here. And you're going to want to click on Beard Speech 1 if you're in first period. If you're in sixth period, you're going to want to go ahead and click on Beard Speech 6. Let's click on Beard Speech 1. This is just the class group page, so you can see any announcements or discussion. We don't really utilize these features as much here because we already have them in our Google site, which I think is an easier source to use, so we won't be using those as much. What we will primarily be using My Big Campus to do is for schoolwork, for assignments, to turn things in. So students had a practice assignment where they went to our class website and they clicked on Practice Speech Resource, and they went ahead and downloaded this. They downloaded this file, edited it, then turn it in on My Big Campus by clicking on Schoolwork, which will give you several options on where to turn things in. Practice information is what you want to click on, and then you will want to upload that file and submit it. I will walk students through the process of turning things in throughout the semester, but that's just kind of a quick general overview of how we'll be doing that. And it may seem complicated at first. I promise you, after 2 or 3 speeches, this will be second nature, and I'll always be available to help you if you ever have any technological problems or glitches. And I'm always available via email. Shoot me an email. Let me know if there's any problems. Maybe My Big Campus crashes suddenly from home and you are trying to figure out how to turn something in. You can email it to me. I'm pretty flexible if you take the step to communicate with me. I know technology can fail sometimes. It can be confusing sometimes. It's just there as a resource for us if we use it properly. And if it's not working for us, then communicate with me and we'll figure something out. Well, that covers class for today. Thanks for listening.